Hi there, my name's Martin Lee and I write under the pen name of MJ Lee. My latest novel is called When the Past Kills. It's the fifth in the D.I. Ridpath crime thriller series set in Manchester. D.I. Ridpath used to work with the Greater Manchester Police, but since an illness, he's been on secondment to the coroner's office, working with the coroner, Mrs. Challoner, basically investigating for her inquests and for unnatural deaths. I'm going to read you a short excerpt from the novel, actually from the beginning of the novel. The scream came from the coroner's office. Ridpath glanced quickly across to Sophia before leaping from his chair and running down the short corridor. "Mrs. Challoner, are you okay?" "He's going to kill him." Ridpath shoved the door open. The coroner was sat at her desk, frozen with fear, her hand covering her mouth, staring in horror at her computer monitor. Ridpath ran to the other side of the desk. On the top left-hand corner of the screen, a timer ticked over remorselessly. 9:01:53, 9:01:54. An old man was standing on a chair with a noose around his neck. In front of him, another man with his back to the camera was reading from a sheet of paper. "You have been charged and found guilty of the crime of negligence in public office. How do you plead?" The old man on the chair slowly lifted his head. His eyes were glazed as if he didn't know where he was. "It's Brian," said Mrs. Challoner. "Brian?" "The former coroner." Sophia had joined them in the room along with the office manager, Jenny Oldfield. "What's going on?" They both rushed round the desk to look at the screen. Jenny leant in to take a closer look. "What's Brian doing?" she whispered. As if answering her, Brian's lips moved. "Speak up, please, for the court," the man with his back to the camera ordered. Brian spoke slightly louder. "What do you want?" The voice was slurred and slow. "That is not the correct answer. Guilty or not guilty?" "What do you want?" Brian repeated. "What the hell's going on?" Jenny asked, looking across to the coroner. "I don't know," she answered without taking her eyes off the screen. "I received an email and clicked on the link, and this came up on my computer. 9:02:12, 9:02:13, 9:02:14. Ridpath glanced at the clock on Mrs. Challoner's wall. Just after 9 a.m. This was being screened live. "Brian Conway, you've been accused of negligence in the execution of your duties as coroner. Are you sure you don't want to plead?" The former coroner mumbled something and shook his head. The noose around his neck writhed like a snake. "In the absence of a plea, the sentence will be carried out." Without waiting any longer, the man stepped forward and kicked the chair on which Brian Conway was standing. For a second, the old coroner was frozen in midair before gravity took hold and his body plummeted down, bouncing twice as it reached the end of the rope, then stopped, the toes of his shoes almost touching the carpet. Brian Conway's eyes were bulging from his head as he kicked his feet and struggled to free his hands. Instantly, Mrs. Challoner and Sophia looked away. Jenny continued to stare at the screen as if transfixed. "Do something, Ridpath!" Mrs. Challoner shouted. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the excerpt and enjoy the book even more. Bye.